So is he real?
Who?
The boogeyman. I read you quoted.
You don't believe in the boogeyman?
I believe in Michael Myers, a deranged serial killer, but the boogeyman.
Well, you should.
What's up, creeps? Ding, 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 ding. What the fuck is up? This is a new episode of a new special segment we'll be doing here on that show we like to do. I don't know what it's called. Yeah, that's what's up. Trailer Terrors. Everyone in the fucking world, including their grandmother right now, is talking about the brand new trailer for Halloween Ends. And, of course, myself and Jeremy, being lifelong Halloween aficionados, we felt it necessary to put Brady through complete hell and drag him through the mud and beat the shit out of him, knowing how he feels about Halloween Kills, to talk about the first trailer for Halloween Ends, which, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like if you're one of those guys on Twitter that tagged Jason Blum every single day for the last 6 months, where's the trailer? Where's the trailer? Where's the trailer? I mean, thank you, but also go fuck yourself, because that's really annoying.
Hey, yo,
you really shouldn't be...
Go fuck yourself today.
you shouldn't... I mean, it's a no-no to tag people involved in movies. It really is on Twitter, because they're going to see it, just like that guy earlier, you know? And we're going to get into that in our Nope review that we're going to be releasing separately from this episode. But, guys...
And also, real quick, what's it going to accomplish, you tagging any of these producers?
It's like they feel like the director or the producer is going to go, all right, I got your tweet,
dude.
They go home to their friends
Train
and they're
37. I guess because you tweeted me, I'll fucking release the thing that you're dying to see.
Or Crazy Train 37 goes back to his friends. He's like, yeah, Jason Blum tagged me back on Twitter.
We're like 3 days before
no big deal.
They released
NBD.
the trailer. Blum even said, you guys are brutal. You guys are rough. Basically, leave me the fuck alone, man. We'll release it when we release it. And I think, though...
You know what I say to that? Goo goo gaga, bitch.
Well, it leaked last night.
Baby.
And me and Jeremy were talking about that before we went to see Nope. And I knew by the end of the night they were going to release it. Because there was no way they were going to let a leaked trailer and shitty-ass fucking camvid quality all over the internet spread before they could get it out. So by the time we were done with Nope, it was on the internet officially, pretty much. And so we all watched it. I waited until I drove an hour and a half home from the screening and watched it on my television with... I'm shocked that Danielle didn't get mad because I refuse to watch a trailer on my phone. I have to watch it in the theater or on my setup with surround sound literally all the way up. So when I came home, I'm like, I don't even care.
You were
and the trailer comes into that rumbling boom, ding, ding, ding. So I'm shocked she wasn't turn it the fuck off.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but no, she didn't. She didn't hear it. She slept right through it, so I was so thankful. But we're not going to go any further without getting initial thoughts on this thing. Again, we both... Well, Brady, you weren't on the review that we did when we were recording our Halloween Kills episode. We did
that was
a spoiler-free one.
Pre-Bratty.
And then we had Sean Clark
ED.
on. Yeah. And so our listeners that are aware of those reviews know how we came away from that. But we could kind of go around the horn as we are talking about our initial thoughts about this trailer and return to those initial feelings of Halloween Kills. But dude, since you're the novice and you didn't grow up watching the Halloween films like me and Jeremy did, Brady, your initial take on this trailer after watching it last night.
Yeah, so let me be very clear right off the bat. Before the trailer came out, I fully believed that David Gordon Green and Danny McBride have just ventured so far off the path with this trilogy that they're no longer able to wrangle it back to any sort of cohesive, satisfying ending. That being said, I'm still hoping, it's like I said about Texas Chainsaw, I really want it to succeed. I don't personally think that it will. After seeing the trailer, I really only feel like those feelings for me were confirmed. It's mind-boggling to me that the movie is supposed to be about this version of the Shape who is basically able to collect Social Security now, based on how old he is, and he's still attacking Laurie, and it's this big showdown between two senior citizens. That doesn't do anything.
I gotta jump in and just say one thing, and this is something that me and Justin have talked about. Michael Myers would roughly be about the same age as Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger right now. Those guys would still fuck people up.
There's a difference, though. he was in a fucking mental institution for all of his life while they've been out being able to go to the gym or do whatever and have
But dude, he's
Hollywood
pure
personal
evil.
trainers.
He's completely infiltrated his entire body. There's no more human left there. So also we're talking about a character that even in the first movie that was probably the most grounded out of this entire series got shot and got up and walked away.
I hated to interject there, Brady, but I had to at least I had to throw that out there for
That's why
for
I made
my
him
guys.
go first.
I had to throw that out there for my guys, Stallone and
fully
Schwarzenegger.
expected that I was coming into this and I was going to get shit on, and that's fine. Like I love
getting shit on
a lot of the movies, and yeah, I do. Sorry, the old Cleveland steamer for me, boys.
I'll remember that next time we stay in a room together.
You'll remember that at Mahoning.
Yeah, baby.
But nothing in the trailer did anything for me. Like, nothing stuck out or scared me or made me think, like, get excited for the movie. It's a bunch of fucking screaming. Yeah, we're getting more flashbacks and dream sequences. Like, cool, man. That was in Halloween Kills, and you know what Halloween Kills did for me? Nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing.
Goddamn Jack and not goddamn shit.
And here's the other thing. The reason that I say I don't have faith in Danny McBride and David Gordon Green is because I loved 2018. I thought that was great. With Halloween Kills, by the end of that movie, you have a Jason Voorhees from Jason Lives. And I love that version of Jason Voorhees because that's what that franchise led up to, but it doesn't work with the established formula behind the Shape. And yes, there's different versions that we've gotten of the Shape through the movies, some good, some bad, but I felt like most of the movies at least still stuck with that formula of he stalks, he plays with his victims because he's a predator. And now they've removed that, and we're not getting that. He's just a brute force, which is what they believe his next step in his evolution is, and I just don't think that that's... If he was in the mental institution for so long, he would still stalk and prey and toy. So those are my thoughts.
I don't mind him being a brute force, but you have to have the Shape element still involved, right? If it was him in the shadows looming, watching his victims, and us as the audience, that builds suspense because we know it's the predator that is waiting to strike. And then you implement a Michael Myers with brute force, I'm on board with that. But me and Justin talked about it quite a bit last night. Halloween Kills was like the Michael Myers reality show. He was front and center. The whole movie pretty much just followed him. It was like a day in the life of Michael Myers. The camera followed him like he was the star of the movie. He's the main attraction, but he's not the star of the movie. He's what's selling the tickets, but he shouldn't be what we're seeing the whole movie. That takes the terror out of the Shape, right? So I'm okay with a brutal ass Michael Myers, but also have him still be in the shadows. Is it my turn? Can I fucking go? Because I want to fucking go.
I felt like this whole thing was your turn, but that's
your turn. What are you talking about?
Okay. And you took my turn. You probably took Justin's turn. That's cool.
All right.
No, it's fine.
So, what's really cool about being a lifelong...
Oh, you're wrong.
All right. Have a good night. Farewell. So what's really cool about being a lifelong Halloween fan is that you build friendships with fellow lifelong Halloween fans. And by the way, I apologize for my voice. I have a fucking sinus infection. I got a frog in this road. I digress, motherfuckers.
That ain't no frog.
That sounds good. Just do that voice the whole rest of the show.
You don't always die from tobacco. So anyway, I've got these friends that are also lifelong Halloween fans. So the moment this shit dropped, I was driving also about an hour and a half home from the Nope screening, and I'm getting text messages and phone calls and Facebook messages and Instagram messages, and I got to give a shout out to my boy Jack Norman, who actually, he worked on Halloween Kills. Was it Kills? Yeah. Or was it 2018? I can't remember. But he worked on one of the Halloween films, and my buddy Curtis Zamfoti, we call each other Thorn Brothers. We're like, dude, we're brothers in Thorn, brothers in Halloween, brothers in Michael Myers. I was talking to them specifically, and it was just nothing but theorizing this trailer and breaking it down, which, with that, I will say I think this was a smart trailer, or teaser trailer, if you will, because it got us talking, it got us, speculating, what is this thing? So immediately my buddy Curtis was like, screenshot, Michael Myers has all of his fingers in this shot. Is this an imposter Michael Myers that we're getting? Because there's the scene in the trailer where he opens the door with his hand, right? Dude, it's a flashback or I'm sorry, it's a dream sequence because Laurie Strode is also wearing her same costume from Halloween 1978, and in the background of the shot is the pumpkin that she carved in the 1978 film. So it's a dream sequence, which explains the hand, but there for a minute we're like, whoa, yo, it's an imposter Michael Myers, because we've heard rumors that could be a case with a plot point for this film. But no, it's going to be a dream sequence. Another thing that I'm going to throw out is like, man, Michael Myers can't get any fucking luck with his fucked up hand. I mean, it's like we zoomed in, me and my buddy zoomed in on the picture, and it's like he's already missing those fingers, right? His hand looks infected and zombie-like, and then Laurie Strode stabs a knife through it again. I'm like, man, they keep fucking that hand up. He's like, all right, well, it's dead anyways. Go for it. Outside of that, it's kind of more of the same, right? It's action shots, montages of Laurie and Michael. Another thing that I'd like to call out is the fact that this creative team behind this trilogy has only really wanted to utilize the first film, even though in Halloween Kills there was tons of shit from other Halloween films that they stole, raped, borrowed, whatever you want to fucking call it. But this trailer, they were like, it was like their way of being like, hey, you guys love Halloween, right? Like, let's remind you. Here's clips from the original classic, the film that you love. Because they still, they know that they lost the audience with Halloween Kills. So they're like, oh, fuck, what do we do? Like, they're pissed about this last movie. Let's throw in clips from the original so they remember the movie that they like, and it might entice them to see this one.
It's a subconscious effort, because when your brain, when your eyes connect to your brain something that you automatically know you love from your childhood or from another memory, it connects, and you're like, that's the thing. That's the thing that I love. So you're not remembering the last movie, or it's at least for the second that you see that image, you're forgetting that movie that you didn't like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm stoked to see Hawkins in that bitch. Like, he's probably my favorite character out of this new trilogy. I just like him. Will Patton is such a good fucking actor. I will stand on top of a hill for my entire life and say, cast this guy in everything, because he's a fucking knockout, man. I love that guy. I love his character. It was cool to see him. I wish they would have focused a little bit more on the Allison character, the granddaughter. However, I get they're selling a final Halloween film with Laurie and Michael. I get it. The trailer, it was fast. It was fun. It got me and my buddies talking and theorizing about what this is going to be. But at the same time, it was more of the same. It kind of looks like the same shit that we've seen in the previous two Halloween movies. It didn't offer up anything else or like new that we haven't seen yet. Obviously we got the plot synopsis, which I could talk about that.
I was going to go into that real
Yeah.
quick here. But so, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't actually read this may be a spoiler, but whatever, you're going to see the movie anyway. But it centers around 4 years after the events of Halloween Kills. Laurie is living with her granddaughter, Allison, played by Annie Matichak, and is finishing writing her memoir. Michael Myers hasn't been seen since, so 4 years he's been totally absent. Laurie, after allowing the specter of Michael to determine and drive her reality for decades, has decided to liberate herself from fear and rage and embrace life. So maybe she's living a good life, kind of thing. Fuck that guy. I'm just gonna live on and do my thing. I'm old. But when a young man, Corey Cunningham, the Hardy Boys, Virgin River, that's the actor Ronan Campbell has played in those movies or shows, I don't know what those are, is accused of killing a boy he was babysitting, it ignites a cascade of violence and terror that will force Laurie to finally confront the evil that she can't control once and for all. Yeah, so
I read another breakdown earlier today that kind of gave a beat by beat of what that looks like with the kid. So I think it's going to be a situation of there's this whole huge subplot, because from everything I've heard is that this kid, Corey Cunningham, which that last name, quite the homage there, eh, guys? Fucking Sean Cunningham,
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Yeah,
I was
100%.
thinking Arthur Cunningham from Christine, but that
there you
works
go.
too.
Perfect. So apparently a huge fraction of this final movie in this trilogy is going to follow this kid that either he didn't murder this kid he was babysitting and he's being, fucking the townspeople are going nuts about it, like he's this cold-blooded killer, or he did, or there's been theories that he's being controlled by Michael Myers, or Michael has transferred his power to him. I would be surprised if they went that route.
Well,
I think that I think that what they're gonna do with this character is, in Halloween 2018, they tried to spark an emotional connection with Laurie Strode and the trauma that she had, from what happened 40 years prior. I think that they're going to try to end this trilogy with something else that's traumatic and connected to the real world, and this stuff happens in the real world and this is how we react as a society.
Just like the social commentary that they attempted to interject in the last movie, which failed miserably.
And that's what I was going to say, is that
Oswald Cobblepot.
They could redo that and get a better chance this time. Like what you're saying with you thinking that direction, like they could do something good with that subplot of like the townspeople. Michael just disappears and you're like, okay, we need someone to blame, someone to take our frustration out. Here's this kid who, if you look at it like with shades on, it matches up perfectly, so let's fucking take it out on him. I think that could work, and then Michael obviously resurfaces. I don't want them to go in a route, and it doesn't sound like they will, where that copycat killer is who is running the show.
I hope that there's not a copycat killer at all, because I just feel like we don't need that. Maybe it could be people. Yeah, maybe it could be people that think it's him. Maybe he's on the run from the law, and people are saying it's him when it's really Michael that's returned. Who fucking knows what they're gonna do? However, everybody involved with this production, from Chris Nelson on his own podcast, The Thing with Two Heads, to John Carpenter's remarks, to Jamie Lee Curtis's remarks, we know that we're going to get something so unique that fans are either going to embrace it and love it, or they're going to hate it. That's pretty much all been stated.
Yeah. So back to initial thoughts, since I haven't really stated mine yet. And I expected that to take that long. In terms of what the trailer is, I agree with Jeremy. This is more of a teaser. This isn't really a full trailer. And I do feel like this was pushed out because Nova's coming out this weekend and it's Universal and they need to get eyes on this thing because it comes out this October. It doesn't really show all that much new footage at all whatsoever. I did, however, really like the vibe. It felt like Halloween. It looked like Halloween to me. I love that one shot harkening back in the opening of the trailer to the original first-person tracking shot from the first Halloween movie. That was cool. Throwing those clips of the previous movies in there, I think not only is there to remind you of the other movies that you've seen, or that you love, or that you hate, but to also because they don't just want to show more footage from this movie yet. I think they're just waiting, and they're going to do one large trailer, and then we'll get another international trailer with more footage, and then that'll be it.
Well, maybe they listened to people, because people's huge gripe with Halloween Kills was that they showed everything. They showed the entire movie.
I was the guy to ask Jason Blum about that.
Fucking love it. Yeah. I mean, I listened to The Thing with Two Heads' most recent podcast, and Chris Nelson talked about it, and he said that he was the same as us when they released that trailer. Like, oh man,
yeah, he was like, fuck. He was definitely not happy.
He was like, you
that.
Showed all the kills and the whole movie. Like, I wish.
Well, dude, he's old school, man. He's even older than we are. So he's that guy that grew up watching these movies in the theater, and you would see the trailer in the theater, and all you'd get is a teaser. Like, dude, the teaser trailer, for example, I went to a screening of You're Next at Alamo Winchester. My good friend Faye, who hosts Psycho Cinema, screened it last week, and she showed the trailer for Christine. And that trailer is literally just like a voiceover and dark shots of the car. Going over the car, it says Christine, and then it says the date that it gets released. That's it. There's no footage from the fucking movie there. So
I didn't know that had been released.
What's that?
A Christine trailer?
Are you talking about the original movie?
The original.
Oh, dude, I thought you were talking about.
They haven't done anything. With
I said old school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, because it's part of the summer thing that we're doing. Download draft for John Carpenter movies.
I thought that Blumhouse, because Blumhouse is doing a new Christine.
Dude, had that happened, get the fuck out of here.
What?
Are you serious? I would have already talked about that on the show if I had seen that already. And it wouldn't have been shown at a local Alamo Draft House first. But no, see, look at that. What happened there? Look how excited you got about a new Christine. I'm excited about that too. But no, I'm just, trailers today are such a totally different animal than they were back in the day. And I understand that now. I don't necessarily agree with it or like it, but I understand why they do what they do. So when I asked Jason Blum that question about, do you ever feel like you're showing too much? He doesn't think so, because he thinks people are still going to go see the movies anyway, and he's actually 100% correct. They're not going to go, I saw too much of the trailer. No, 99.9 fucking percent of the time. People that are like, I'm not going to see that. I saw all on the trailer.
I think with his Black Christmas movie or Black Xmas, whatever the fuck they called it.
No, it was Black Christmas.
Okay. I think if they would have shown less in that trailer, people would have actually gone to see it, because once we saw...
People went and saw it. I think
more people would have gone to see it had they not shown so much, because somebody like me, I love Black Christmas. If I would have gotten less of that trailer and it kind of been open-ended, I would have been I'm kind of intrigued by this. Maybe I'll go see it. But the fact that you see the whole movie, I was like, dude, this looks like trash. I'm not going to see this.
That's why it's great that this teaser didn't really show you all that much. But literally... what I tweeted was, this movie, it shows you it's Halloween. Michael Myers is back and he's killing people. That's all you really need from a trailer for a Halloween movie. What else do you really want? You know what I mean? I'd prefer to wait and see, the story beats in the movie, the most iconic shots that'll be in the movie in the theater. I don't want to see it in a trailer.
When Halloween Kills came out, I watched the first trailer, and then I don't think I watched any of the other trailers that came out for it.
I didn't either. You and I talked about it on the show, that we had watched the first initial trailer, then we stayed away from all the other trailers. I think
that's what I'm going to do with this one, too. Even though, like I said, I'm already over here fucking fan theorying shit up. But I think that I will stay away from any future trailer for this thing until we go and see it.
I think I'm with you. I would actually put it to our listeners and be like, yo, do you want us to do more of these things where we talk about trailers in depth and in theory, try to figure out what we think is going to happen in the movie, or do you just want us to wait until we get to the fucking movie to see it? So we'd love to hear from you guys in regards to that. But I mean, overall, you're totally correct in saying that this trailer did its job in getting people talking. I mean, Halloween is trending right now on Twitter. It's trending on social media, which is exactly what they need to get that hype. Because make no mistake, whether people hated Halloween Kills or not, regardless if this trailer sucked or not, people are still going to go see a Halloween movie, especially if it's October. I mean, that's just kind of the thing to do. It's tradition now. And I only wonder, and this speculation will have to occur when we discuss the movie, when we review it a couple months from now, but what they're going to do without that, because there isn't that placeholder there anymore. This has been that thing that people go to see. This is the event for October, and it's been consistently successful. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens after this.
I'm excited to see what happens next, because Blumhouse's agreement with Trancas International, that owns the rights to Halloween, was for 3 films. So they've already reached their 3-film agreement. Now, however, they've all made shit tons of money. So we all know that another contract can be written up. Another agreement can be made for Blumhouse to make more of these things. Without a doubt, this is going to lead to more Halloween films, because this movie is going to, wait for it, kill at the fucking box office. We know it's going to. Every horror fan is going to go see this fucking thing. I'm all about it. And we love Michael Myers, even though Brady and I didn't particularly care for Kills very much. Justin, you didn't care for Kills very much. We're still excited about another Halloween film. We love Michael Myers. So
for sure.
I'm excited what they do after this, when they're no longer trying to keep this thread of a narrative linked back to the 1978 movie. Listen, we've already essentially had so many reboots with this franchise. We don't need to go back to another super connected sequel, reboot, requel, whatever you want to call it, of the 1978 film. The next Halloween film should absolutely be the events of the first Halloween film happen. None of the new stars have anything to do with that shit. Michael Myers suddenly reappears, reemerges, however many years later, whatever. He could be, whatever new creative.
Michael Myers in space.
I'd watch it. But whatever they want to do with it, just don't rely on going back to nostalgia heavy shit. Give me new characters. give me a new interesting take, and give me Michael Myers as the shape in the shadows, hunting and preying on teenagers. That's what I want.
Yeah, and I think that's what the majority of Halloween fans really want out of these movies. But, also, I would love to see something original done with these. We were talking, I think it was last week, in regards to this conversation comes up about 80s throwback slashers and the such, and it's like, what else do you do other than, like, having people killed in interesting ways, attractive young people? There's got to be something you can bring to the table. And I think if you get the right filmmaker and the right writer behind that, there'd be something had with that. I mean, you could really do something with it. But I don't want to see anything regarding this franchise for at least a few years. Like, give people time to breathe. Give people time to get excited.
I'm calling
about
it, man. I'm calling it right now. After the success of that opening weekend, shortly after, they're going to make an announcement that they're going to make another film. Because they're going to want to keep the public interest going, because they want to keep the money going. It's show business. It is a business. They're there to make money. So when this thing starts slaying at the box office, they're going to fucking announce Blumhouse is making another one.
I mean, we do know, though, that, diminishing returns are a thing. So if you rush something, the whole schedule got fucked up by COVID. So we would have had time in between kills and ends had COVID not been a thing. It would have been released a year earlier. So you'd have had that time period in between to get excited. I think they're smart, though. They may be making another deal. I don't think we're going to get a release so quickly after that. But that's something we can talk about when we review the film in October. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to this Trailer Terrors episode on Halloween Ends. Let us know what you think of the trailer. I think pretty much everyone has watched this thing, like I said early in the episode. Brady, you didn't say that much else in the episode. I just wanted to give you time. Is there anything else you wanted to say about this thing before we finish up?
I really appreciate you two including me in your Halloween discussion.
You're welcome.
No, I mean, I knew it going into this, man. Like, I've been upfront about it in the past. Like, I do like the Halloween franchise, but it's not my favorite one. And there's ones that I pick and choose to watch that I really enjoy. So I'm not a subject matter expert on it like you two are. But that being said, I'm going to shit on this movie until I see it and probably afterwards, but I still want it to succeed. And I'm
Look excited. At you being all positive.
I'm excited for what it will do for horror movies, the genre, horror movie sales. And maybe if it's good enough, they sign another contract and they go in a different direction. So yeah.
Yeah, so there it is, ladies and gentlemen. If you're listening to the show and it's your first time, you can find us on social media, the Brain Stew Crew, under Epic Film Guys, at Epic Film Guys on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And we are available on literally every podcast platform available. But until next time, I'm Justin.
I'm Jeremy.
I'm B-Ratty.
And as always, we'd like to ask you to keep it creepy.
Right out!
Ding, 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 ding.